During this past general conference, Sister Elaine Dalton and her counselors, Mary Cook and Dibb, were given a vote of thanks for the years of service as the Young Women's General Presidency, and they were released from these callings. But before that happened, Sister Dalton reflected back on her service to the young women.
We have been led by the Lord every step of this journey, and it's been a magnificent journey. I recall the day after we had been sustained in General Conference, going with my counselors, Sister Dibb and Sister Cook, and hiking Ensign Peak. And when we got to the top of that peak, we looked out over the city, and I said to them, "What do you see? Do you see the same thing I see?" And they said, "Yes, we see the temple." And Moroni was just sparkling. And we stood there and we said, that is the vision. That is what the Lord wants for these young women. He wants them to be worthy to make and keep sacred covenants and receive the ordinances of the temple. So it began right there on Ensign Peak 5 years ago. The first thing we knew we had to do is add the value of virtue to personal progress. And then the next thing we knew, we had to make sure that all the standards and for the strength of youth were updated and current with the issues that these youth are facing now. And then simultaneous to all that, we were working on a new way of teaching and learning, because we knew that we knew these young women needed to become articulate advocates for the gospel of Jesus Christ. It's amazing to see the Lord's hand in this work, because it all came together. This is one of the most exciting times. I think it's a time of great opposition, but also a time of great opportunity. These young women are so magnificent. I would say that some good advice would be to pay attention to the 2013 mutual theme, which is telling all the youth now to stand in holy places and be not moved. I think that we will look back and say those were days never to be forgotten.
Well, Sister Dalton and her counselors have certainly been a force for good. Sister Bonnie Oscarson has now been called to serve as the new Young Women General President, and her counselors are Carol McConkey and Evelyn Marriott. We wish them all the best as they take over this tremendous responsibility.